And today we're reacting to the Hodge Twins are worse than we thought. More Hodge Twins news from O'Shea, huh? Something new sparked what has been shown to us, bruh. We had a good convo about them last video that we did about them, you know what I'm saying? And I'm excited to see what the new things are coming. Things coming to the light. Let's get to it. Eddie Lado.
I'm so happy that the Hodge Twins is getting their just due on YouTube, and everybody is starting to see how fake they are.
When I dropped my video about the Hodge Twins on August 3rd, 2025, I didn't know it would get so many views, and I didn't know that so many people dislike these guys so much. I just noticed a few discrepancies with some of their arguments, and that was it. I didn't think anything of it, and I didn't think to ever revisit the subject. However, Albert and Preach on September 22nd, 2025 reacted to my video and making their own video called Myron and Hodge Twins Reminded They Aren't White. So I decided to do a little bit of investigating. I said, there has to be something to this. So I started looking on social media for people
the
that
OG's Hodge Twins right here. The ones that we had grown to love.
Had an issue with the Hodge Twins. And boy, was I surprised.
But now all of a sudden, they done became as panderers, where they like to put the black community down, and I feel like that's just some bull when your ass is half black and you walking around here looking like a light skin.
Apparently he's woo.
Now this was a more of a recent video because the lady basically referenced the fact that other YouTubers are making content about the Hodge Twins. But before my video or Abba and Preach's video, you had people who really understood what was going on.
They were definitely leaning on their blackness because they're half black, half white. They were leaning on their blackness, you know, all this and that and all this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 and everybody's cool because, you know, black folk, we accept, you know, people who are partially black. We accept everybody, right? Especially who are part black and part whatever the fuck else, until you give folks a reason to not do that.
Now, this is a very, very keen observation. He said when he was watching the Hodge Twins when they were blowing up, he realized that the Hodge Twins were leaning on to their black side. Now, you know, they are half black and half white. And so what you saw is the Hodge Twins making comedy using the N-word a lot, going back and forth. But then he noticed a change.
They definitely
what I noticed that they do is that they put down what they used to like lean on to now give an uprise to like their.
Yeah, so they wishy-washy. They always half-stepping, and that's what we said in the last video. They have a half-stepping issue. Stand on that. You know what I'm saying? Stand on that. I'm telling you, bro, it's one of them things where the money got good. They did something. They said something that was a certain way. The money, the feedback on it was so good that they couldn't help but try it again. And once it worked again, and it probably did even better, it made it that much easier. You see what I'm saying? It made it that much easier for them to say, okay, I don't mind being this. You feel me? I don't mind being this whole time knowing they got a whole African-American side of a family. You feel what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy.
Political beliefs that. You see what I'm saying?
So the Hodge Twins built their career basically leaning onto their black side. Now they criticize everything to do with the black side, but they built their brand on that. They built their brand on black buffoonery, quote unquote, let them tell it. Now you criticize what made you successful.
Damn.
But this sister said it the best.
You have two black men, avid pro-Trump supporters, who stereotype the black audience, go all the way down their page. They speak about white people with respect, even if they're reporting on a crime. When they speak about black people, there's no respect, there's no nothing. It's miss this, sir this, ma'am this, when they speak about a white person who's committed a crime, or they're speaking about something that's, going on in a white community. But when it comes to black people or brown people, any person of color, it's criminal and, just all kind of stereotypical terms that paints people of color in a negative light.
Now, she talked about the Hodge Twins timeline, and I talked about that in my particular video. And obviously they're active on X, so it's really easy to see it
Very
there.
easy.
But let's see if her point is true. This is not so long ago. Now imagine if a mob of white conservatives chased 2 black dudes off campus. Then on their YouTube, Chicago residents pissed after streetwalkers take over Chicago neighborhoods. And of course, this is a black neighborhood.
Right.
So you can imply that. Here we have very specifically, black people always need to make everything about race. Then another day, another woman getting punched by a black dude. What? These guys want to make it seem like every day women are just getting punched by black dudes. In part,
Another day. Just look at these black. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, this is how they do it. It's like they're the perfect news outlet for a certain group. We show you this if we even show you this. If we bash this person, it's because they did a heinous act. And don't let nothing happen. Don't let nothing happen where we can kind of somewhat justify that act. Oh, but they were treating him like this. They gonna let that be known. But they're just basically like they're the perfect news outlet for a certain group. You see what I'm saying?
particular white women. All right. How
And-
many white women?
And since they naturally have some type of funniness to them, because you know they are you know they're very known in the YouTube space, and they've been doing the YouTube for a long time. It just makes it that much easier to consume, especially if you're on that side. Hey, before we get back into the video, I got a way you can make some extra bread. I know you bored at home right now, bro, and all you have to do is play games and get paid for it. If you hit the link in my description or scan the QR code on the screen right now, you can sign up to freecash.com and start getting paid right now. And they make it extremely simple. First, just create an account like any other site and email and password. And once you get in, you'll see a wall of games and offers immediately. Pick a game that you actually like, play through the levels, and the cash will land straight into your free cash account. It's basically turning your downtime into a hustle without you even thinking about it. People pulling $10 to $20 a day, and with some effort, you can go way higher than that. You can spend a couple bucks in game to hit levels faster that'll ultimately give you bigger offers and payouts. That's the method on how some users end up making hundreds, even 500 or more on certain offers. But you don't have to spend any money. You can literally stick to the free levels and still cash out. The whole point is when you're taking a break from those Astral Dior videos, doom scrolling, looking at women, you can be playing and earning at the same time. Get to your money, bro. And once you run it up and want to cash out, you've got options of PayPal or gift cards. So if you want to get to that extra cheese, hit the link in the description or scan the code on the screen, sign up for free, and start playing for cash on your spare time. And when you use my link or QR code, you get $5 bonus to get you started, bro. Go ahead, get to it. Let's do it.
Every day get punched by black dudes. I'll wait. And the answer is not that many. But hey, we all gotta make money. Of course, these are their biases.
Yeah.
And I actually called them out in my video for being pretty much sellouts. And so when they're reacting to my video, I'm talking about the Hodge Twins here, here's their reply to me.
We've been Republican for years. Yeah, just because I have different opinions don't mean I sold out.
Yeah.
A sellout is a person who says something for money.
Yeah.
I'm saying things because that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's how we see the world. Yeah,
Making
I've
conservative
monetized my opinion, but it's nothing wrong with that. I'm a capitalist.
Yeah.
Now here they're saying that they really feel this way. They're Republicans, and they monetize their opinions because they're
And I
capitalists.
believe it.
Now, let me just say this: the Hodge Twins are definitely capitalists. I have never seen YouTubers grift and just go from one thing to another quicker than the Hodge Twins. I mean, wherever the money is going to go is where they're at.
Right.
I mean, they didn't have too much investment in their main channel. They didn't put any thought into this channel. And that's something about the Hodge Twins. These guys are not that bright.
Got him!
I mean, despite how they articulate themselves, I'm not even talking about how they sound because their articulation leaves a lot to be desired.
Got him!
Let's compare them to somebody like Abba and Preach. Abba and Preach, and particularly Abba, even Preach, they're both very good. They're the best. They give really good depth and analysis to their positions. And their positions are not always popular. You cannot always guess what Abba and Preach are going to come up with. They don't mind challenging their audience in the comments. They don't mind making videos that people disagree with. They are free thinkers and they cannot be bought.
You gotta
That is
respect
the beauty of Alba and Preach. Okay, they put thought into what they're saying. They have great dialogues. When you listen to the Hodge Twins, there's not much dialogue at all or thought into whatever they're saying,
or even just somewhat of a inkling of, well, you know, maybe this. They don't even look into the other side of what could possibly be the case. You see what I'm saying? I feel like, and that's why some people, you know, I've rarely seen this, but people think I ride the fence, but it's really not. I just am an open-minded individual that sees, okay, well, I see this, okay, I see this, and I will say this and say in the comments, y'all know me, I'll say in the video, yo, in the comments, if you think differently, let me know, explain to me, tell me why. But whenever you move like this on a day-to-day, you don't even allow yourself to really like know people or learn people or expand your emotional intelligence when you think a certain way without even trying to offer the other side as a potential that their other side could be potentially right. You see what I'm saying? If there even is an other side, or just seeing both angles. You can stand on here, this is what I believe. Let me hear you. There's been times where I'm like, oh, this is what I believe. Somebody breaks down, give a good argument. Don't really got a rebuttal for it, but I still stand with what I'm standing with, and I respectfully say, I hear you, but I still XYZ. It's also just not that deep to listen and understand the other side and still believe what you believe. But it at least allows your brain to have some sort of acknowledgement of another opposing situation.
and that's why they don't really get a whole lot of views per video in relation to their audience size. Now, if you look at somebody like Candace Owens gets a lot of views for her size. Well, Candace Owens is, I'm not gonna say she's the brightest person in the world all the time.
Hold on. Let me. Hold on. 3.47 M's. 3.47 M's. 300K a video. That's a lot of views, brother. A million, right? Or 829, close to a million. I don't know about that, brother. They're getting good views. I mean, the same could be said about a lot of channels. It's just, I don't think that's a relevant or accurate argument, that one.
But she's definitely smarter than them, and that's the difference between the Hodge Twins and Candace Owens. Candace Owens can at least come up with something original that she can claim in her arguments. The Hodge Twins just regurgitate whatever they feel that white people want to hear or conservatives want to hear. And to be honest, that's why their channel doesn't do so well for the kind of size that they have.
He's right, you know.
And let me give you an example of some of this ideology here, okay? Let's go to the whole Nashville, Tennessee State interview where these white guys came up to the school. Of course, they came up to the school without letting the school know. They kind of did a pop-up shop, brought their own speaker, and set up a table. And again, this is against school policies. They wouldn't go to Harvard to do that or go to Yale. You have to have permission to go onto college campuses anywhere around the world. You just can't pull up and start having debates. But listen to the argument, or the debate rather, they're having with this young man.
Do you think that there's any law that allows me to do something that you can't do, for example?
I don't think there's any laws that say that you can do something that I can't. But then again, this system can't be ignored. Like, we can't just say it does not exist, because there are countless examples of it existing.
So the young man, they're asking him, what do you think is in law that you can't do as a black person? And the young man responds, he says, listen, well, there's no law, but definitely we live in systemic oppressions in this time, and it's just there. Now, the young man may not be able to articulate all that he's saying, but there is some truth to it.
And that, yeah, I was gonna say, and that's true, whether or not you believe it or not. Like, I personally don't move in that type of way where my brain is like, oh, well, the system's just out. I just kind of adapt to the situation. We can't sit here and say that's just not the case for things. We have to be honest with ourselves. We're black, white, orange, pink, blue. We have to understand. And that's just how life is, though. You know, I don't see that it might be a racial thing, but what does it do for me blaming it on that and then not taking the steps that I need to take in order to, you know, fulfill the things that I want to accomplish.
But now, how do
side thought.
the Hodge twins interpret it?
This is why 96% of blacks vote for Democrats.
We had a black president 2 terms, won the Electoral College and the popular vote.
Yeah.
For black people to still think that this country is systemically racist is just, you're not using your brain.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. This dude, what do you think it is? That dude's got like a mental block somewhere.
So they start insulting the guy, calling him, in so many words, dumb, and black people are this and that, and they continue.
Well,
A bias that prevents him
he's
from
around,
using his brain.
He's black. He grows up around black people. Everything he watches is black. He's living inside of a bubble.
You see the disparaging commentary that they're giving towards the young man. Not even those Charlie Kirk or MAGA supporters, the white guys, had even got that low, all right? He mentions that Barack Obama became the president and there was no racism going on in America. Well, let's see here, buddy. Barack Obama was the president from January 2009 to January 2017. What did we see during those years? I'll just give you a few. 2009, Oscar Grant, Oakland, California, got shot while he was completely subdued, okay? The BART officer, Johannes Mercerly, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Then you have, in 2010, Ayanna Stanley Jones of Detroit, Michigan, 7-year-old killed during a Detroit police raid, February 26, 2012. Trayvon Martin killed by George Zimmerman. He was acquitted, but this case became a flashpoint for racial profiling, all right? Then we have, in that same year, Rekia Boyd in Chicago. Then we have Jordan Davis, okay, in 2012. Then 2013, Jonathan Farrell. 2013 again, Renisha McBride. Then 2014 is when it really got hot. That was a really bad year. We have Eric Garner, John Crawford, Mike Brown. We got Black Lives Matter out of that. Akai Gurley, Tamir Rice. 2015 was brutal. There was Walter Scott in South Carolina. There was Freddie Gray, okay? Then Dylan Proof, the white supremacist, came into Charleston, South Carolina at Emmanuel AME during Bible study and killed all of those blacks for no reason. We have Sandra Bland. Then we have Laquan McDonald, who was shot 16 times in 2014, all right? But the video was released in 2015. Then we have 2016, we got Alton Sterling. We also, the day after Alton Sterling was killed, there was Philando Castile in Minnesota. So what are these guys even talking about?
We're getting busy.
Then these guys got into an argument about, like, you know, I think the conversation between the debater and the young man was, when was America great? Okay? Not gonna play that part of the clip, but I do want you to hear the Hodge twins' response.
A lot of people on the left, they like to frame this question.
Yeah.
When was this country great?
Right.
This country's always been great.
He's hoping he's going to say back when slavery was alive. That's what he's hoping he's going to actually say.
Yeah, this country's always been great, though.
Yeah. There's been times when it's been greater.
Yeah.
But in the slave days, I don't think it was great.
So you hear what's going on here. One of the twins says, well, the country must not have been that great during slavery. Rightfully so, because he is half black. But watch what he says then.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, you got to say that.
Yeah.
You got to say that.
But still the best country in the world. Even though back then when we had slavery, systemically racism, that was just part of society. I'm not saying that.
That was society all over around the world.
Yeah, I'm not saying that was great. But it wasn't stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, it wasn't isolated just to this country. That was going on all over the world when that was going on here.
Right. Even whites were slaves.
Yeah.
He turns to say, you know what? Well, that was going on around the world. Even whites were slaves. Okay? He's trying to mask the blow. So now he's trying to say, well,
instead of just taking it for what it is, it was bad. Like, why is it so difficult to be like, no, yeah, they was wrong about that. That was bad. Shouldn't have been doing it like that. Like, we know about how brutal and nasty it got. Yeah, they show, there's museums of the tortures in the chambers, and they had people in, like, instead of just being like, Just straight up. Even white people, even the most conservative of white motherfuckers could say, yeah, it was bad. They used to do people dirt. That's not what we doing now. They can try to fight their case how they want to do it, and they can try to say, but at least acknowledge the fact it was bad. It was really bad. You know what I'm saying? But it was slavery everywhere. Bro. You're black, by the way. Yo, bro, let me put my hand on your shoulder when I say this. You're African American, bro. It was bad.
What? That was the culture around the world. And even there were some whites that were slaves.
Boy, y'all sit your stupid ass down. Who the think you is?
Okay, so what was the percentage of whites that were slaves in comparison to the blacks? Like, this is completely being disingenuous on purpose. And when somebody says that these guys are bootlicking or pandering, this is exactly what that means, all right? And when you're a content creator and all you do is pander to the right, you become predictable. This is why guys don't like them, all right? Because not only are you guys, well, I won't get on how you sound. Well, I'll leave that alone, because for you to be white conservatives, man, you guys are like, let me stop. But anyways, fast forward. You guys pander so hard that nobody finds you that interesting. That's the point. And again, there's no freedom of thought, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why there's no freedom of thought.
He woofing at him right now, and you know, I get it, I understand, but I think a lot of people do find him interesting, just because from the view count, like they getting views, bro, they getting money. You know what I'm saying? What they're doing is working for them. You feel me? So somebody's finding these guys interesting. I'm not the guy, but somebody is. Good now.
The moment that you guys say something about white conservatives or white people in general, it's the end. See, the thing about somebody like Auburn Preach or somebody like me, we build our platforms being ourselves, and if people like it, they do. If they don't, it's okay.
100.
But we're going to express how we feel, and our audience either likes it or dislikes it, but they come back. Yeah. You have built your platforms based on pandering, and so because you guys don't want to really invest into what you're doing and to become better content creators, it's just easy to grift, and you guys are going wherever the money is. And that's why as content creators, nobody respects you. Not the whites, not anybody else. And the reason why these guys are worse off than we really thought is because they're really one comment away from making a bad joke, making a bad tweet, to getting canceled forever.
I don't know, because they with them so strong, like they with the BS so much that they're gonna, I think the audience that they keep will rock out with them, because who's here to cancel them? Whoever cancels them will be, you know, us, you know what I'm saying? People more so who are like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with these guys, right? They would be the ones, but they would just keep their strong audience of the people that watch them. If you're watching the Hodge Twins in 2025, with the takes that they're having and the content that they're giving out, you are absolutely with them, you know. And if I'm sure plenty of people be like, man, fuck the Hodge Twins, but they like it, you know. So I don't know about that.
Then it's back to being down bad.
That being said, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like the video, sub up, comment, visit the channel. I appreciate y'all, great for y'all. We gone. Oh, my battery. Hey, did he let it do?